Welcome back to this week's garden diary. This week we'll be talking about seed potatoes and also a bit about tomatoes and a couple of other things that are growing like crazy right now. Come along.
We wake, hear the birds and see the sun.
So one of the things that I did this week was to get some potatoes in the ground. I have filled up the patch that you can see there next to the strawberries. Now I do need to dig up some more, a couple of more rows, because I did get a lot more seed potatoes than I was expecting, or actually I didn't know exactly how much there would be, but I did have 3 kinds coming in, and one of them, which is semi-late in the summer towards autumn, is in the ground now, and I got almost half of the early one, which is called Princess. The other one is King Edward. And then I got some gourmet potatoes as well that I also need to get in the ground. So that is what will be happening next week. I have decided to take the weekend off. I've been kind of tired, and so I've been working a lot at a local hospital last week. So having the weekend off, just enjoying some knitting, and it's been raining a lot too, so which is good for the plants. But there has been a lot happening indoors. There's a lot of stuff being growing like crazy, and I thought I'd show you. Come along. And here are the tomatoes. Apologies for the lighting. Sun is just peeking out as well. I just had those repotted this week because they were getting really crowded in the small pots that they had. So they are just getting used to their new pots and having a bit more space, and they're growing like crazy. So the next thing I need to do for this one is to make sure they don't break. They need to have something to lean against, especially when they start growing tomatoes as well. But other than that, they are now in their forever home pots, and yeah, just need to grow. The nasturtiums are coming along, some of them quite a lot. Got a couple of large ones here, semi-large, and underneath here we got one peeking up as well. And all of these are nasturtiums that I hope will start to sprout soon. And over here we have chickpeas coming along nicely. These are pansies, which I'm sorry to say I managed to turn upside down on the floor yesterday with my big behind. That sucked. I had tiny little pansy babies all over the floor. Let me focus a bit. Sorry about the sound. You see those? I think I saved those, some of those. They seem to be doing okay. Now it's more than 24 hours since it happened. But just to make sure, I did put down the remainder of the pansy seeds that I had, because I do want a lot of pansies. And next to that one we have more nasturtiums, in which nothing has happened in that box just yet. And here are, let's see, tarragon, we have dill, oh shoot, dill, we have, what's this one, thyme, there should be basil, I think, yes it is. Those are coming along nicely. And back here we have the morning glory. They used to live next to the tomatoes, but after repotting the tomatoes again, they needed so much space, so I had to move them out here. And as you can see, they are climbing quite a lot now, so I do need to get those outdoors as well, I think, during the next week. And in the back here we have, let's see, what's this? Parsley. Also coming along, and here's another morning glory that haven't sprouted yet. And the same thing behind here, also a couple of morning glories. And then, I hope you can see this, That's the sunflowers. Now they have grown really tall. I really need to get those outdoors too during the next week. And then this is the one, oh shoot, now I don't remember what these are called in English. It's for the bees. It's a flower. They are coming along nicely. And these are the bluebells, also coming along nicely. And over here in the window we have wild strawberries starting to come. Spinach doesn't really want to come start sprouting. We got the chilies. We got some oh shit, now I can't remember the name of those either. Never mind. Let me do the focus again. Sorry about the sound. We got the leek coming along. We got bell peppers. And here we have got a jungle. And I gotta tell you, I thought that this was all the pumpkins getting real big. But I just realized that, you know, cucumbers are also coming along quite nicely. So I think I'm gonna have to repot those today. And the pumpkins, I really need to get digging and get a patch for those outdoors, which I realized is a lot, quite a big endeavor, a lot bigger than I thought it was. And I'm kind of feeling that I'm gonna have to dig up half my garden to get a patch big enough for these. So I'm glad I only got 3 of those. And then over here we have some daisies in there. So yeah, that is what's growing right now. I'm trying to sneak out here without tipping over my poor pansies again. So let's have a brief chat about seed potatoes. The reason you want to use seed potatoes, which are way more expensive than just getting any potato at the store, is because they are certified to be, they're not sick, they don't bring diseases, and you want that because you don't want your crop to have a disease, and you don't want disease to spread in your soil. And also they are not, they haven't used sprout inhibitor on seed potatoes, because you do want your seed potato to sprout. So that is the reason why seed potatoes are a lot more expensive than just using any potato from the store for growing food, growing potatoes on your own. However, you can of course use potatoes from the store, but if you do, I would recommend that you use it only when if you have only like 1 or 2 potatoes and you put them in a big pot and grow your potatoes that way, so that if there is any disease, it won't spread to your entire potato patch, because that is a risk. That is a risk. And also, if you do choose a potato that is not a seed potato, make sure it has a lot of eyes, because that's where they sprout. So, but again, I would absolutely recommend that you do use seed potatoes, because you get healthy potatoes, you get a good crop, and you won't have any disease in your potato patch, and that's what we want. Good heavens, I'm going shopping and I just ran by the chives and I realized there are flower buds all over it, and you don't want that one to bloom. So I think I have to get rid of these before I go shopping. Jeez. Okay, that's better. I think I got most of it. But I really need to get to this part of the garden as well. So there we are. That is the last garden related task for this week. I repotted the cucumbers. The noise you're hearing in the background is my dishwasher, by the way. Yeah, cucumbers have been repotted. And next I'm going to try to fit them in the window where they are going to live from now on. Which could be something along the lines of extreme sports. I'm not sure how I'm going to fit them in there in their new huge pots. But we'll see. We'll see. They look good. So, just gonna show you one more thing before signing off this week. My apple tree, one of them, has started to bloom. Just ever so slightly. How pretty is that? Look at those teeny tiny buds. Let's see if we can get it to focus. There we go. Yeah. Well, you know what, folks? That's all for me for this week, and I'll see you again next week.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.